My name is Tony Kamada. As I mentioned to you guys before, I'm one of the business directors here on the platform of Our Infinite Company. If you can show your screen, please feel free to open up your screens and fully participate. Today, I am going to kind of part two last week's call. How many of you guys were on last week's call, by the way? Show of hands, thumbs up real quick. I see Shelly. I know Shelly was on. I think Tammy was on. Sheila was on, right? Absolutely. I think KJ was on, right? And so we talked about the LinkedIn section of this incredible system, right, called the Infinite Eight. But I want you guys to write down, those of you who are taking notes, this is a two-part system, right? LinkedIn is, and this is kind of why we changed the name, because I felt like we were giving people a message in regards to it being about LinkedIn. The call's not really about, the system is not about LinkedIn, you guys. It's not really a LinkedIn system. Um, it's actually a philosophy on building business. I'm laughing at Tammy's comment. Um, yeah, we are a minority, me and KJ on this call today. I see. So, but it's about philosophies, you guys, right? You know, it's not necessarily about LinkedIn. And I want you guys to let that sink in real quick, okay? LinkedIn does not recruit people. Okay. LinkedIn does not recruit people. It's the philosophies that we leverage behind LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just kind of like the vehicles. This makes sense. So today we're going to get into the power of three-way calling. Okay. And I want you guys to write that down at the top of your notes. The power of three-way calling. But first, I want to start off by asking you guys a simple question. What is the overall goal of your business? Okay. Anybody want to just kind of shoot that out there real quick? What is your idea of a business? Like, why be in business? Okay. What is your overall goal of building agency, building a business in this space? Marilyn, go ahead, my dear.
Okay. So I have a kind of lofty goal here,
Uh-huh.
right? I am hoping to shatter the poverty mindset and bring education my love of education to people who have not had it in the past, so that they can build wealth and get financially free.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Those are your reasons, right? And I love that. I love that. Those are very strong too, by the way. And I'm excited to help you get there. Anybody else? What is your idea of a business from a fundamental standpoint? What is your idea of a business? So let me go ahead, KJ.
Yeah, for me, I think a business is me using the skills and talents that God blessed me with to make an impact, whether that be in my communities, whether that be with my family. Um, yeah, so business to me is using our God-given gifts to make an impact in the people's lives that we touch each and every day.
Love it, love it, love it, right? Very strong, right? Again, very strong reasons, very strong why, right? And I have zero doubt, right? That you're gonna make that happen right here on this platform. But let me give you guys an idea what I mean in relationship to systems, okay, in this business. And I want you guys to write this down. Thank you, Kim. Great answer. And that's more kind of what I was looking for from a fundamental standpoint. She said having systems in place. Okay. A business, the overall goal in your business is to get your business to grow as far away from you as possible. If your business always grows back to you, we don't have systems in place that we're leveraging to call this a business. Because if it's always on me, if I got to run every appointment, if I got to make every phone call, Miss Amanda, right, then I'm really not a business owner. I may be just very highly paid self employed. Does this kind of make sense to you guys, right? Is this kind of like I want to get y'all thinking, kind of moving in the right direction here, right? Because this is the true power of three-way calling, right? And why we want to leverage this system as much as possible, right? So if your business is not growing away from you and always going back to you, then you don't really have a business. You're just self-employed. And what's crazy, I mean, not crazy, but what's interesting about our space is that people can really blemish the line, right? Because we've got licenses, right? And we could get out here, we can make a lot of money by helping clients, right? And feel like we have a business, but truth of the matter is we're just really, really highly paid self-employed individuals. So the picture that I want to paint for you guys is imagine having 1,000 people out in the field that are in your agency that is running a system that duplicates 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations deep. So that now, when you go to take a step away from your business is system dependent and not people dependent, and therefore you continue to make money, right? If your business is stopping when you stop, that's an indicator that we don't have a business yet. Okay. And so I want to premise the call with this information because I don't ever want us to get away from that being the overall goal and trajectory of our business. Okay. So if we talk about three-way calling from a standpoint of a system, okay, I want you guys to understand that this is the system that's going to duplicate far and wide into your business and get your business as far away from you as possible, right? So that it doesn't always come back to you. Now, do you want to write business throughout the course of your, absolutely. But you want to write business, Marilyn, because you want to and not because you have to. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm waking up anyway. I've built agency based on systems, and I'm waking up every year, every week with more money than last week because the systems are duplicating. See, at some point, you guys are going to have people in your business that you don't even know. You're going to have to be formally introduced to somebody that's on your team, in your business, right? Because your team has grown so big, but every one of these people are somehow responsible for your income, right? And so I want to paint this picture, right? Because this is why we do three-way calls, and this is why we leverage a third-party system. So why does three-way calls work? Why three-way calls, and why do they work? Number one, you may have trust, but you don't have the respect and credibility of your peers. Okay? So when we sit a new agent down and we say, hey, write an infinite list. But when you write down that infinite list, I want you to use three-way calls to contact this infinite list. Why is that? Because, hey, your friends and family may trust you, but you don't have the respect and credibility of a business owner in this space. Right? And so we want to leverage a three-way call, right? To say, hey, I'm going to build up an expert. Okay. Hey, Mike from LinkedIn. You know what? I'm working with a young lady by the name of Marilyn Granado. She's really down to earth. She loves helping people. She's leading the national expansion of our company. I want to get on the line real quick, Mike, so that I can have her kind of share with you what she shared with me when I first took a look at this opportunity. Hold the line. Right? Hey, bro, cousin, family member, right? Listen. I'm always up to something, bro. I got this other thing going on now, right? But listen, I've been working with a young lady by the name of Amanda Dunn. right? She's leading the national expansion of this company that I'm working with. She's really down to earth. She loves helping people. Let me see if I can get her on the line real quick. Because listen, bro, I don't want to mess this thing up for you. All right. Listen, I'm kind of new to this thing, but all I know is, right, I'm super excited about the potential and the income that I'm about to make. Listen, I'd be remiss, bro, if I didn't tell you about this, but I don't want to mess this thing up. I want to get somebody on the line who's already made the money, who has all the information to kind of share with you what they shared with me when I first took a look at this information. Hold on real quick. Okay? You have the trust, but you don't have the credibility. This makes sense so far. Put one in the chat because I got a bunch of screens right now. It's me and you, Marilyn. We rocking. But put one in the chat if y'all with me. Okay. If this is making sense so far. Perfect. All right. So you have the trust, but not the credibility. So here's the thing though. Okay. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. This is why people don't do three-way calls, because the W-2 space and the public school system said you have to know everything to get an A, right? If I hire you to come be employed here, you got to know everything to win, right? And if I hired you to do a job, I need you to be an expert at that job. A to Z. You got to know everything about that job. If you are in science class and we're about to take tests, I need you to know everything or you're going to either pass or fail here. But the nature of entrepreneurship, you guys, is saying, listen, mistakes are your best data source. It's trial and error in entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is saying fail, but fail forward and fail fast. Get your learning curve out the way. Get your hands dirty. Get your hands on something. Break something. Drop something. Right? That's the best way to learn in entrepreneurship. And you don't have to walk away with an F. You just walk away with great data. Right? Entrepreneurship is science, right? You guys understand there's theory, then there's science, right? So I try something, then I bring it back to the lab, right? And we study it, and if it doesn't work, it's still theory. And then I try, and if it doesn't work, it's still theory. But when I try again, and then it works, and then it works again, and then it works again, now we call it science. Right? Am I right? Yeah, absolutely right. And so business is saying, hey, fail, but fail fast. Right? Hurry up and get your learning curve out of the way. Right? And so a three-way call, and the reason that we're leveraging third party is because you have the trust, but you don't have the credibility yet. Friends and family. See, my family could fake on me and still be my family. Right? And so let's go to number 2. Don't do what works, do what duplicates. Oh my God, if I can get people to understand that. Don't do what works, do what duplicates. We premise this call by saying, hey, the goal is to get your business as far away from you as possible. Yes? Because if your business is not far away from you, you don't really have a business, you're just self-employed. If you stop and your business stops, you don't have a business. Right? And so here's the thing. Don't do what works, do what duplicates. This changed my life. This changed my business forever. Okay? I can do a lot of things from a standpoint of talent that other people can't do, but I don't do them because it's based on talent rather than systems. And you have to have a system-dependent business rather than a people-dependent business. It's like McDonald's. Right? I know it's a cheesy example. We always go to it, but it's the perfect example. Big Macs is in a box, fries is on the left from California to Cairo. I've been both places. They don't switch up the system. Why? Because here's the thing. You may not work out. And that's okay. But I can replace you and put you into the system because the system says over 80 million served. The system runs the business, right? So don't do what works, do what duplicates. You have to ask yourself, hey, can anybody do what I'm doing? Can everybody do what I'm doing? And if it's something that everybody can't do, I'm not going to do it. Not in my business, right? Because it has to duplicate. It has to duplicate. Wide and deep, it has to duplicate. All right. Number 3, every new agent, you guys, will pass on the business DNA they were born from. What do I mean by that? If you, let's say a new person came on board, Sheila, let's say you came on board and you talked to 10 people because you, Sheila, and they love you and they got started. Are they the most qualified people to start talking to people about this business?
No.
Absolutely not. But guess what they're going to do? They're going to start talking to people without you because you talk to them without an expert on the line or without a leader on the line, without leveraging a third party. Okay? So everybody is a product, or they're going to pass on the business DNA they were born from. Right? And the worst thing we can do is put the future of our business in the hands of a new person who doesn't really qualify to talk to people about this business. Because now my business stops at level 2. It's like, man, Sheila, you just brought on like 10 people. What happened to them? I don't know. I can't get them to show up. I can't get them to, right? And I say, well, when you got them on board, who did they talk to? You say, well, it was just me. I was just talking to them and they got excited and I got them started. Oh, so they're trying to talk to people and get them excited and get them started, but they're not you. And you're running a business based on talent, right? And not systems. So you want anybody to be able to do this business. Okay? So watch this. If they were a product of a one-on-one, they'll talk to people one-on-one. But if they were a product of a 3-way call, right? Guess what they're going to do? When they want to get somebody started, they're going to remember, like, what happened when Eric recruited me? Oh, he got me on the line with somebody and introduced me to somebody, right? And then we had a conversation kind of together. Oh, let me get somebody on the line with Eric. Let me get my guys on the line with Eric. Because that's what Eric did with me, right? So watch this. Everything you do duplicates. You either duplicate negatively or positively in your business, but it's going to duplicate one way or the other. So you have to choose what systems you want to kind of be in the DNA of your business, because this is your legacy. And it does have a DNA, right? And so if you use third party and you're leveraging third party, now, Kyrie, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you don't have to worry about your business because it's operating on systems and not talent. It's principles over personalities. It's principles over personalities. See, I don't want to be special. I don't want to be the guy. You see what I'm saying? I don't. One of the biggest mistakes people make in this space is being special. I don't want to be special. I want to show up as the rule and not the exception, because I want to build a big business. If I were to ask you guys right now, would you rather have a 10-star restaurant or a McDonald's franchise? It's an interesting question, right? But if I got a 10-star restaurant, How duplicatable is my 10-star restaurant versus my McDonald's franchise that's global? You see what I'm saying? So that's an important question that you have to ask yourself. So you can be special and talented. You have a nice 10-star restaurant of an agency. Cool. Great. You know, they only open after 1 o'clock. They stay open till 10. You know what I'm saying? They got some good steak, 2 locations, 10 stars. But if you're looking to do something massive, there has to be some duplication in a system in place that's running your business. All right. I want you guys to lock this in too. Number 5, 3-way calls are not a sign of weakness. 3-way calls are not a sign of weakness. Again, I know we're taught, right, that if we don't know everything, right, then we're failing somehow. But I promise you that's an indoctrination that came from public school systems and W-2 spaces. All right? So your business has to grow and duplicate away from you by leveraging systems that duplicate. All right? So we're going to get into the 3-way call, but put a 1 in the chat if this makes sense so far. Put a 1 in the chat if this makes sense so far. All right? I'm going to pull up this 3-way call skit for you guys. We're going to break down all the philosophies inside of a 3-way call. All right? And why we leverage third-party systems. So give me 1 second, y'all, real quick. All right, here we go. Now, how many of you guys got this 3-way call script, by the way? Anybody? Nobody? I hate scripts. I absolutely hate scripts. I'm going to tell you why I hate scripts. Because when you believe in what you do, you don't need to be scripted about anything. Right? I hate scripts. But we put this in place for the people who like scripts. Okay? But I'm letting y'all know from the horse's mouth, I hate scripts. You get kind of caught outside of your script, you stuck on an island. You don't know how to pivot. You don't know how to navigate. Trust me, the best script is belief. Please write that down. Okay? Just remember, if you do leverage a script, leverage it for context. Don't leverage it to be verbatim. Okay? That's my best advice for you guys. All right? But we're going to do a quick, like, what does a 3-way call sound like? What does a successful 3-way call actually sound like? All right? So let me look at y'all real quick. So a lot of times people don't leverage LinkedIn because it's like, then what? How many of you guys feel like that, right? It's like, I don't want to really get out there on a LinkedIn, and start running this Infinite 8, system, because it's like, okay, if I get a response, then what? What do I say? What do I do? How do I reel them in, right? I got a fish on the hook, Mr. Sabat, but how do I get them in a boat? Okay? 3-way call, third party. When you really understand this, I promise you, you guys, we're going to start recruiting non-licensed people, and they're going to start recruiting people in the business before they even get a license. Because in business, you don't have to buy then sell. Sometimes you can sell before you buy. If you really understand business, right? See, if I really believe in this thing and I got an agent code on the platform of our Infinite company, can I start recruiting without having a license? Absolutely. Imagine having 10 recruits, don't even got a license yet. When you get licensed, boom, I got 10 people already on the team. Because I'm running a business, right? So watch this, okay? Mike from LinkedIn says, hey, I'm interested in taking a look at what you guys are talking about. Perfect, all right? Hey, Mike, okay? How does Thursday at 3 sound? Tuesday at 2, Friday at 4. Whatever Mike says, okay, we lock it in on the calendar. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to one of my leaders and say, hey, are you available Thursday at 3, Tuesday at 2, Friday at 4? Yes. Somebody's going to say yes. All right, perfect. Mike, we locked in. Okay. Now, when you book your three-way calls, right, before you do your call, I always like to send reminder text. Okay. An hour before, just shoot that text out, you guys. Listen, you know what? Mike, we still good Thursday at 3. We still good today at 4. We're still good. An hour before the call. Are we still good? Yes, we're still good. Perfect. Then I call Kim, say, Kim, okay, Mike is still good today at 2. Perfect. The first thing I'm going to do when I call Mike, hey, Mike, it's now still a good time. Okay, perfect. Hey, Mike, real quick, I want you guys to write that down. Please write that down. Everything that I'm going to talk to you guys about from here is straight up philosophy, and everything is very intentional. Everything is very intentional. This is a sweet science, like boxing. It's a sweet science, I promise you. And when you get it down pat, you're going to learn to love it. Okay? Hey, Mike, real quick. Why am I saying Mike real quick? Anybody want to know? Anybody want to take a shot at why am I saying Mike real quick?
They don't like to be on the phone for very long.
Right. Okay? I need to send a message to Mike like, listen, this is not going to take long. Okay? And watch this psychology. Did you guys know that we all operate on time as social currency? Consciously and subconsciously? Meaning this, look, we'll all do anything for somebody as long as it doesn't cost us the time. We all gauge the value of our interactions by the time it costs us to do it. We do it consciously and subconsciously. Somebody could call you right now, and it could be your mom or dad, and you're going to gauge the cost from a time perspective based on what you're currently doing right now. We all operate that way. You guys ever pull up to a red light and seen like a guy saying, hey, help me out? Right? But you're at this red light, and depending on how long it takes for this light to change, it's going to determine if I help this guy or not, right? It's not a money issue. It's a time issue, right? Am I lying, Shelly? Right? It's like, golly, like I want to help him out, and you look at your change cup, right? And you tap your pockets, and then you look at the light, and then you go, ugh. Ugh. Like, because it's time. So remember this, people will typically do anything for you in the framework of what they can do for you if it doesn't cost them too much time. So, hey, Mike, real quick is to say, hey, I respect your time out the gate. Hey, Mike, real quick. Okay? So, hey, Mike, real quick. Okay, I got Kim. Let's say I got Kim Howard on the line. Okay. I don't call Kim first. I don't call my three-way expert first. I call Mike first. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is edify Kim, my expert. I want you guys to write this down. The main ingredient of a three-way call is edification. What is edification? My ability to speak highly of somebody else. Okay. So, hey, Mike, real quick, okay? I want to introduce you to a young lady who's leading the national expansion of our company. She's really down to earth, really loves helping people. That's the default edification right there. 1, 2, 3. Leading the national expansion of our company, really down to earth, loves helping people. Does not matter what order you say it in, by the way. You can say, really loves helping people, right? Really down to earth, leading the national expansion of our company. Doesn't matter which order you say it in. Now, as you get used to it, you'll start putting your own sauce on it, right? But this is a default setting. Does this kind of make sense to you guys? Really down to earth, loves helping people. You know who I love doing three-way calls with? Michelle Austin. Michelle Austin never she never moved from the script. She's like, "Soon, are you there?" I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "Before I introduce you, Mike, I just want to let you know, okay, that this gentleman is leading the national expansion of our company. He's really down to earth and he really loves helping people." She says it verbatim every single time. Hence the fact that she's growing a team, nationwide team, right, on our platform. Okay. But after you kind of get used to them, you'll put your own sauce on it. All right. And you guys see it here in the script. If you guys put y'all email in the chat, I'll send you guys this script, I promise. So y'all don't gotta write this down. Okay. I'll send you guys the script. And thanks to Marlena. Marlena insisted on putting the script together for you guys. So, and she came to this class like several times, and this is verbatim what I say on a regular basis, right? And so now that I've edified my leader, okay, I'm gonna say, hold on. I'm not gonna ask Mike if this is a good time to talk to my leader. I'm gonna say, hey, Mike, real quick. Okay, I want to introduce you to a young lady by the name of Kimberly Howard or Mrs. Howard. By the way, it's never Kim. I want to introduce you to my sis, Kim. No, no, this is not my sis time. Okay, this is business owner time. Not, hey, this is my bro. No. Okay, Mr. or Mrs. Why? Okay, because last names speak to legacy. First names speak to the moment. Last names speak to legacy. How many of you guys are here to build the legacy? Yes? Okay, so we have to build an environment and create an environment where everybody around you is speaking to your legacy. Okay, I want y'all to think about, like, sometimes I kind of go off script, but listen, all the cool people broke. Okay, let's stop being cool. Like, let's be businessmen and women, and let's dictate the rules of engagement. This is Mrs. Dunn. This is Mrs. Or if you got an issue with last names, cool. Just say first and last name then. Okay? If you don't want to say Mr. or Mrs., say, hey, Mike, I want to introduce you to a young lady by the name of Marilyn Granado. Okay, you can take off the Mr. and the Mrs. if it somehow messes with your ego. Okay? But first and last name, Sheila Bolton, Tammy Yarbrough, Clifford Steele, Michelle Austin, or Mrs. Dunn, Mrs. Granado, right? Mrs. Howard, last name speak to legacy. I'm edifying. I need my prospect to feel like my expert walks on water and glows in the dark. Let me give you guys some sweet science real quick. Let me tell you guys the power of edification. How many of y'all go to church? Everybody, y'all go to church, right? Does the pastor talk about himself, or is he edifying someone else to get that congregation to come every week? Yes. A pastor is the most beautiful edification of a man named Christ. Yes or no? Yes or yes? Absolutely. And he built congregation. Anybody ever been to the Potter's House in Dallas? Oh my God. It's like 10,000 people in there every Sunday because he's edifying somebody else. I digress. Okay. Now, it's Mr. or first and last name. Your goal is to make your experts sound like they walk on water and glow in the dark. Why is that so important? Because I don't know if Mike from LinkedIn has already made $1 million. I don't know if Mike from LinkedIn is already crushing his business. I don't know if Mike from LinkedIn is already like a business mogul. So I need Mike from LinkedIn to hang on to every word my expert has to say. And the only way he's going to do that is if I edify him. So Marilyn can't just be Marilyn. She's got to be Marilyn Granado, leading the national expansion of our company, down to earth and love, helping people. Okay, so let's move on, right? Edification. So now that I've edified Kim, Mike, Kimberly Howard loves helping people, down to earth, leading the national expansion of our company. Hold on. I'm not going to ask him, hold on. Like, I'm not asking permission. I'm saying, hold on, and I'm clicking over. Why? Because Mike is depending on you to take the lead of this call. Okay? When you decide to lead, people decide to follow. Please write that down. When you decide to lead, people decide to follow. So I'm not gonna say, is it still good, Mike? Like, is it, can I get her on? Mike gonna be like, well, no, never mind, because you gave me an out. Right? Hold on, Mike. Write this down as well. This may help you. It helped me. 97% of the population is depending on somebody else to tell them what to do. 97% of the population is waiting on you, Kyrie, you, Sheila, you, Michelle, to tell them what to do as an expert in your space. I see my brother Cliff on the line. He's a barber. Man, when people getting in that chair, if he hesitant about his skill set, they'll be like, man, look, let me go get in somebody else's chair. He got to spin them around with confidence, like, okay, low taper, boom, high line up here, low, got you. Boom, let's go. His confidence is going to settle me in. You know why? Because people don't buy the information first. They buy your belief in the information. Okay? So, hold on. Now, I got Kim on the line. Hey, Kim, I still got Mike. Mike's from LinkedIn. Are you ready? She says, yes, I'm ready. When I click back over, I'm going to give a formal introduction. Okay? I'm going to give a formal introduction. By the way, what is a three-way call? A three-way call is a formal conversation that leads to a formal invitation that leads to a formal presentation. We have to, as business owners, learn how to formalize our conversations. I always give the example, you guys, of, if you date anybody, men, talking to the men, I see Kyrie, I see Cliff, y'all can just shoot me a thumbs up. Remember you dating a girl and then she said, I want to introduce you to my brother or my dad? It's like, it got real formal after that, right? When the minute you bring a third party in, this thing got formal. Right? This is real now. Like, we just went from a 5 to like an 8. Like, oh, you want me to meet your dad? Oh, okay. You thinking like this is real. Well, it's the same thing in your business. See, sometimes because we're talking to our family and friends and we're just kind of saying, hey, bro, you still want to meet with me? I'm still trying to get you to, hey, sis, hey, cuz, I still want to meet with you. When is a good time? Well, we're not formalizing the conversation. But the minute you say, hey, bro, I want to introduce you to somebody, now we're getting somewhere. Now we changed the tone of the conversation. This makes sense to you guys? Thumbs up? We good? Okay. So now I'm going to get Kim on the line. Okay. So I got Mike on hold. Kim, I got Mike on the line from LinkedIn. She says, great. Now I'm going to formally introduce them. But I'm going to introduce them with some excitement. Hey, Mike, you still there? Yes, I'm still here. Awesome. Miss Kimberly Howard. See, I'm still edifying. Miss Kimberly Howard. See, she's Miss Kimberly Howard. He's just Mike. Not to belittle him, but I have to make sure that I'm creating a bit of a big I, little you situation here because I need him to understand who the expert is in this conversation. Hey, Mike, you still there? Yes. Hey, Miss Kimberly Howard, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. Awesome. Hey, Mike, this is the young lady that I was telling you so much about. Just listen, we're so hot. We're so honored to get a minute of her time. Look, I'm stuttering, Mike. I can't even say nothing. Listen, Miss Kimberly Howard, this is Mike from LinkedIn. What is Mike thinking now about Kimberly Howard? He's like, oh, right? She has status. She has stature, right? She's important. Okay? Now he's got a different level of respect for everything that comes out of her mouth about the opportunity. Okay? So we established that. Now what Kim's going to do, she's going to, number one, please write this down. She's going to, as the three-way expert, she's going to form Mike, F-O-R-M, family, occupation, recreation, motivation. I told you guys it's a sweet science to this three-way call. It happens in 5 minutes, but it's got a lot of ingredients. It's like gumbo. Okay? She's going to say, hey, Mike. First, she's going to, let me back up a little bit. Okay? First, she's going to return the edification. My bad. She's going to return the edification. She's going to say, hey, Mike, I know Mr. Samaj said a lot about me. I didn't pay him to say those things, right? He's a phenomenal business partner of mine. He's so humble, Mike. He didn't mention that he's leading the national expansion as well. He's helping a lot of people. Mike, I'm excited to get on the line with anybody this gentleman introduces us to. Okay? So that's what she's going to do first, because she's going to leverage the credibility that I gave her and then give that credibility back to me. Okay? So then she's going to say, Mike, by the way, what is it that you do for a living? Occupation. See, this is forming, but this is the O in form. Okay? Occupation. Mike, by the way, what is it that you do for a living? Oh, well, I'm in the industry too. In the life insurance space. I've been doing this for about, 2 years now, so on and so forth. Good stuff. Okay? Whatever he says, awesome. Okay, now we're going to move on to discovering the pain point. See, if Mike's been in the industry for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but he's on the phone with us, we got to figure out why there's trouble in paradise. It's a reason Mike's on the line. It's a reason Mike took the call, and we've got to extract it out of him. Right? So now we're going to discover the pain point by asking, hey, Mike, listen, you sound like a pretty sharp dude, right? Been in this industry for a while. Let me ask you, Mike, what's got you taking a look at another opportunity? And then you just listen. And you know what Mike's going to tell you? Everything you need to know to close him. Mike's going to say, well, you know what? I've been buying these leads and the leads ain't leading. Well, we just had a call the other day. Who was it? Me and Tammy just yesterday. And the lady was like, listen, I'm with Bankers Life. And you know what? What did she say? She was like, they're paying me less now than they were paying me before because we changed management. And then I found out that they can, when the agency ownership comes into place, that they can dictate my commissions. Right? Just from saying, hey, what's got you taking a look at another opportunity? She gave us everything. It was the easiest transition ever. It's like, okay, great. Let's get you to appointments so you can take a look at our company. So discovering the pain point. Hey, how do we do that? You form, right? Hey, Mike, what do you currently do for a living? I do A, B, and C. Awesome. Let me ask you, Mike, sharp gentleman like yourself, been doing this 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, right? You wanna give him praise, right? Before you hit him with the discover the pain point, right? Let me ask you, what's kind of got you taking a look at another opportunity, Mike? Leads ain't leading. Management's changing, right? Tired of cold calling, right? Whatever the case may be, you say feel, felt, found. Now you're going to go into the 3 F's. Feel, felt, found. Whatever Mike says, now you're going to relate to his experience because we're discovering the pain points. So we want to relate to his pain. We say, Mike, you know what? I can definitely understand how you feel. Okay. At one point, I felt the same way. Feel, felt. I felt the same exact way. And what I found, feel, felt, found, was that there's another way to do this business. Okay. Feel, felt, found. So we're going to form Mike. We're going to discover the pain point. And then we're going to feel, felt, found Mike. We're going to relate to his pain. Feel, felt, found. Hey, Mike, I can definitely understand how you feel, man. Listen, I was buying leads at one time, and I felt the same exact way. What I found was that there was a totally different way to do this business. And then you tell a quick story. You give a quick testimony, not a 5-minute testimony, not even a 2-minute testimony, just real quick. Hey, Mike, found a new way to do this business. I haven't bought a lead in 3 years, right? Made 6 figures from home, okay? And this business absolutely has now changed my life. Quick story. And this is why you want to get them on the line with the leader. You get what I'm saying? See, because Kim, if I'm on the line with Kim, Kim's gonna say, hey, you know what, Mike? Part-time, I was able to make $50,000, become an equity partner, got the 50K watch. I hit business director, the quickest in the company in the last year, right? Found a totally new way to do this company, to do this business. Now we're going to give Mike a formal invitation. With that said, Mike, what we really love to do is maybe get you over to a formal presentation. Okay? That way you can take a look at the company from A to Z, right? Put your own 2 eyes on it, Mike, and make an informed decision as to whether or not what we're doing here is a good fit for you. Does that sound fair? See, I'm already getting yeses from the crowd, right? Do I sound like I'm selling, Mike, by the way? Right? Not at all. What I'm doing is I'm empowering Mike with an opportunity to make a decision. I'm not convincing him to do anything, right? Hey, Mike, listen, with that said, okay, what we really love to do is get you over to a formal presentation so that you can take a look at this, see it for yourself, Mike, put your own 2 eyes on it. And that way you can make an informed decision as to whether or not what we're doing here is a good fit for you. Mike, you can make an informed decision as to whether or not if what we're doing here aligns with what you have in mind with your license, your business. That sound fair? Yes. Awesome. Okay. And then Kim's going to turn the call back over to me. She's going to say, hey, Mr. Samad, are you in front of your calendar? Yes, I'm in front of my calendar. Awesome. Listen, Mike, it was a pleasure meeting you, okay? Again, I'd be remiss if I didn't say a few things about this gentleman. You could not be invited to this opportunity by a better gentleman. Mr. Samad, always a pleasure, okay? Make sure you guys add me to the invite. Mike, I look forward to putting a face with the name. The expert leaves the call, okay? And then the recruiting agent puts the calendar or puts the appointment together. Because you don't want to hold your expert hostage. If I just said that Kim was about to be the president of the United States because I just edified her that way, she don't got time to go through the booking process, right? Hey, she got to go. She's important. Okay? Hey, Kim, thank you so much for your time. Listen, Mike, what's your email address? You said Thursday at 3 o'clock next week. Awesome stuff. Okay, Mike, I'm going to send this over to you. Make sure you confirm it when you see it. Okay? Make sure you tell them to confirm that invite when they see it. All right? So I'm going to open it up, you guys. We got a few more seconds. We're going to go over this again next week. All right? because I don't expect you guys to build Rome in a day. All right. And you shouldn't either. But let's open it up. Was this helpful? Was this valuable to anybody? Did anybody catch any nuggets or any feedback, any comments, any questions?
It was very valuable, Mr. Sunny, because I was, I think I spoke with you about, getting a little more into LinkedIn. And so hearing this, knowing that, hey, we're not really leveraging it for that, we're just kind of like putting ourselves out there, like, I guess, going fishing, catching a little bait, and
Come on
then
now.
reeling them on in with the three-way call. So now it's understood. So thank you.
Perfect analogy. Perfect analogy. Because that's what it is. LinkedIn is just a resource, right? To say, hey, who's interested in taking a look at an opportunity? People say, yes, I'll be interested. You schedule that appointment, you get them on a line with a three-way expert, right? Now, let's say Mike joins the business and Mike's excited. What do you think Mike's going to do now when he wants to start recruiting people into his agency? Mike's going to do what worked for him to get in the business. Does it make sense? Anybody else? Any feedback? Any questions? Let's open this up. Quiet bunch today. Quiet bunch today. All right, so listen. If you guys don't have any questions or comments, just know that next week we're going to go over the same thing again. All right. And Lay, if you could do me a favor and grab all the emails out of the chat and send over the script. Can you do that for me, Lay? Are you there, Lay? Lay probably like, no. Okay. So anyways, we're going to get that script to you guys, those of you who put your emails in the chat. But listen, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate everybody hopping on. Listen, you guys, let's get out here and build a massive business. The goal is to get your business as far away from you as possible. Remember that. All right. It's not about you being the expert. It's not about you knowing everything. It's about you leveraging the systems. All right. Also, remember this. If you know everything about your industry is too small. You like that, Marilyn, right? If you know everything about your industry is too small. You'll never capture every nook and cranny of this industry. Just capture the information relevant to whatever your next is. Okay? Whatever your next is, that's the information that you need to capture. Okay? Don't be somebody who is looking for more information. Be somebody who's focused on implementation. Because the field is going to always be the best teacher. All right? So with that said, you guys, I appreciate it. No more, y'all sure? No questions, no comments, no. Okay, good stuff. Well, I'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all have a blessed day. Talk to y'all soon.